Welcome back, Chuckers, to another episode of the Vancouver Canucks GM Mode series. Private A-Licious here, and in the last episode, we were eliminated in the second round in 7 games by the eventual Stanley Cup winners, the Edmonton Oilers. And Game 7 for us was heartbreaking because it could be an epic riling call for us if we advance further to the playoffs. Because we were down, I think it was 4 goals in the third period. We scored three goals. 2 of them were shorthanded goals to cut the lead to a 1 goal lead, 1 goal game with 2 minutes remaining. But the Nuge scored 2 quick ones to end the period, and that ended our season. It was such a disappointment for me personally, but as for the owners, they feel pretty happy because the team made it 3 straight years to the second round, which is a pretty good accomplishment. Hopefully next year we could reach the conference finals. And I believe we can, based on this team and how our youngins will grow this season. And anyway, let us check out our retirements. So far, the main guys retiring in terms of games played, you have Legwan, Neil. So far, no one like a superstar being retiring. Now look at that, Kevin BX has retired for the Carolina Hurricanes. Thank you for your service here in Vancouver. Kevin, may you have a successful post-playing career. Yes, post-playing career. Anyway, let's go to goalies. Only Craig Anderson decided to hang up his skates. Next, oh yeah, I gotta mention that for this video, I lost some of the original audio. So I'm doing the commentary I'm doing a post commentary. So anyway, here I'm just scouting the top prospects for this year's draft, and looks like the number 1 dude is a guy named Trent. Who's that? Gorgovsky. What I've noticed so far in the top 10 with regards to skaters is that most of them were centers. And then there's only one top 5 goalie. This is Billy Alatalo. Anyway, we're back off. Next, what I did was I went to scouting report. Not scouting report. I went to the, let me see. I think it's the progress reports. No, I'm thinking, yeah, progress contracts first. Sorry, my bad. Just to figure out what type of prospects we need for our pool. So far, in terms of regards to centers, we are pretty deep in center-wise. So we don't need to draft another center. Left wings, I think we're good with left wings. A lot of my top prospects are already playing in the main roster. And I think we're good with left wing. Right wings, probably a bit weak. Defense, I said we could get a bit more defensive prospects. And maybe goalies as well. Yes, goalies as well. Maybe a bit. We'll see what happens. And then, after that, I looked through my progress reports to see who has grown the past year and so. So I look at the main roster. Most of them stay the same. Angela and Cassian drop, but that's because I did not play them in the power play. Because I want to let my Bertanen and Borisville try to get the points. I mean ice time. Anyway, and I look at the my HL squad. Dennis Yan is an 81, so he's ready to play up in the main roster. Hopefully he becomes like 84, 85. Vandrop grew. Dylan Strome grew as well to a 78, so he might be ready. I'm thinking 1 more year in the minors for him. Although some of my other prospects did not grow further in overall, they at least got an attribute modifier, which is good. So at least it tells me they're going to grow before the start of next season. And I looked around and see Shinkaruk and Boris Volchenkov did not grow that past season. So I'm kind of worried that they may have capped up at 81 overall. But I'll wait till the start of next season because they have the potential to grow. I've seen this happen in the first either the first off season or the second off season of this GM mode where Malcolm Suba did not grow the past few years, as you can see. Also, Ram was like 85, and uh, and then after the off season, ne before the start of the season, he grew to like 85 or 83. I don't remember the episode, but anyway, right now I don't know what I'm doing. We are ready. Oh, I'm going to show you guys the upcoming free agents in terms of forwards and defense. I started looking at the defense, and the top guy is Carlson, got Giordano, Vlasic, Yandel, Carlson, Jack Johnson, Tyson Berry, Dan Hamhuis. Oh, that's Justin Schultz, Jelena, Vatanen. I mean, I don't mind getting these guys for the second line, but I doubt they reach free agency. So it's nice to know who's a UFA, but I doubt they ever going to reach actual free agency. And then I looked at forwards who's available. Same with the defensemen. You have Tavares, Kessler. Bradyshen was very interesting because it's the first time I've seen him uh, grow to an 89 overall, 4 green star potential. Huh, he's a beast. Good overall player. Yeah, I'm thinking that most of the guys will not even reach free agency as well. So there's no point for me clearing up cap space for them, even though I technically don't need them. Anyway, we started the draft, and yep, those top 5 picks, which I'm gonna show you guys the top 5 prospects after this draft. I think right now I'm just looking around for any roster players that teams are willing to give up. So far, I went through this quickly. What I've noticed so far is it's mostly veterans in the twilights of their careers, or well, there's Pominville, but he's not the player we need, or young prospects, which I don't think I need because I have plenty. But I decided to show this just to see, just to know for myself who's available and for you guys to know as well. And there's a lot of these prospects really the players are willing to give up. Teams were willing to give up. Now I was looking at this was it Kale Claju? 3.5 green. And this Jake Kuski guy as well, who's 4.5 yellow star. But I didn't need him because I believe Dylan Strom has the higher overall as well, even though he has less star potential. Barrett Jackman, yep. Based from what I've seen so far, just prospects and veterans in the twilight of careers. So right now I'm looking at goalies. It's sort of the same thing with the skaters as well. It's usually just a lot of prospect goalies are available for trading. Here I was trying to get this goalie, but I did not get him because he did not want one of my prospects. They just want roster players. So far, not a lot of goalies are being available by teams who are willing to trade them. Yep, nothing too much. Oh, sorry about that. I need to get a drink of water. My throat's a bit dry. So far, and I think that's it for all the teams. So yeah, this draft I didn't really trade for one. Was not I mean yeah, oh yeah, I forgot to show you about the Zachary Fakali that I skipped past while I was going through the teams. I'm trying to figure out if you want any draft picks or prospects, but all those thirds don't have the value to get him, and Montreal wanted them on my roster player, which I don't want to give up just for him. And I think that's it for the draft. So here I'm just listing down teams of the top 5 teams before I simulate my first draft. So it's Columbus, Chicago, Minnesota, LA, and Columbus. Here, I think I picked up oh yeah, this is my first pick. Here, I'm deciding between these 2 defensemen because I don't have not only have to look at the star potential but I also have to look at their overalls because if they're a low overall but a high potential, it might take them quite a while to reach their first line potential or something like that. Yeah, here I'm just checking out which of these defensemen I want to pick. I think I decided to pick Matt Sartoris because I do want to have a defensive defenseman in my team though. Here, I have like 3 picks in the third round, and I got some options here. I got this Blake Badger guy. Look at his stats. Looks pretty low if you look at the green ones. 20 years old though. Although we do know he's 3.5 star potential. Then I will look at all these other defensemen as well in front of him. Because I have like 3 picks, I have a back-to-back pick after this one. I think I decided to get this Franco dude because his stats looks pretty good. Or this Trenton Bork. Just waiting to see. Yeah, I think I picked up this, and I also look at this Nolan Kumagi guy, who has some potential. So I picked up this new cover because I do need some right wing depth. And for my back-to-back pick, I looked at this defenseman, Gabriel Billadio. Sorry if I butcher his name. But in the end, what did I pick? I picked up the first guy, the defenseman in the top of the list, and I think I picked up this center grinder, because you might never know, you need that fourth line grit in the future. Here I skipped through that. Yep. And then I decided to go to I also have 3 picks in the 4th round. Right now, in the 4th round, I didn't get a lot of prospects scouted. Most of them have like the 3 green, yellow, red potentials. So for me, I just picked up the best player available. Here I went for Jay Duat just because he's 3.5 white. And for my last pick, who did I get? Oh, I get this Vegeta guy just because he's also a 3.5 white star. Yeah, here I think I decided to auto draft just because I'm this late into the draft. There might be a small chance I get like a superstar or a really good role player in the future, but unlikely. So I trust my assistant GM to pick up the gems in the final round. All right, the draft's done, and we decided to go to the Resign stage. Although it takes quite a while for the Resign phase to get through. Before I resigned my players, I think what I did was I looked through the top 5 teams in the draft and see what kind of prospects they got. So I think one of the teams was Arizona. So yeah, that was the first team I went to, and they got this Jake Lane guy, who is 4.5 yellow star potential, 76 overall. That's a pretty good draft pick. He was picked in the fifth overall. Oof. You got a 1-2 punch there with him and Connor McDavid. And then the next team was Columbus. And I was shocked with this pick, who their first overall pick was. Oh, I'm sorry, it was Chicago was one of the picks. My bad. He was picked 2nd overall. So they got a good defensive defenseman as the future Brent Seabrook. And then I went to Columbus, and this Trent Grabowski, 82 overall, 5 yellow star potential. My goodness. What a pick for them. He has awesome shooting though. And once his defense gets up there, he'll be a beast. See how a good 1-2 punch there with Ryan Johansson. Heck, you might even trade Ryan Johansson away and let this guy be your #1 center. Because they also have another 4.5 yellow star center in this Steel guy, who might not be ready. He might be ready like in 2 years though. So Columbus, they got a player for the next decade and so. So after Columbus, I went to Dallas because they have the 6th pick, I think. They got this right wing power forward, 4.5 yellow star. Then I went to LA. Wasn't sure who they got, but I think they got that goalie. Yep, this Willie Alatalo. What's interestingly is that they also have a 4.5 yellow star potential player in Mackenzie Blackwood. And they still have Jonathan Quick, who's only 32, so future in goal is bright for the LA Kings. Then I went to Minnesota. They picked up this, not sure. Oh yeah, I was in goalies. I need to go to rookie skaters to see who I could pick up, who they pick up. Oh, I mean drafted. They got this Jordan Gabranson, 4.5 yellow star playmaker. I think that's it. Sorry, my bad. I think that's it for the top 6. Then I went back to my team to re-sign the players and figure out who the true overall and potentials of the players I drafted. Anyway, I usually start off in goalies. So yeah, goalies first. So I signed my prospect in Nick here, who seemed to be ready for the big leagues. He'll play in the AHL. Then I signed Ramo because somehow he's 85 to a 1-year deal at 1,800 mil. 1.8 mil, I mean. I let the Bobkov go and then signed Brendan Burke as an injury replacement for my main squad and for my HL squad. If Nick is not ready to play starters minutes. Here we got to re-sign Glenn Denning. He won 6. I was jacking up the price to 8 to see how much he wants. He wanted like 8.125 mil, which is a bit much. So I reduced it to around 6 mil for a value of 6.660, which is a pretty good deal for him. Kind of like that. I decided Cam Fowler as well. He wanted 2 years. I was also figure out the price. So 4 is be the best for him for 4.66. There you go. So we locked up. Hopefully they signed their deals. Spurgeon I still have in my team for 2 more years. Looks like Edler I have to re-sign next year. So then I got Spiza and Corrado I have to re-sign. Now they want quite a bit for top 6, but then again I think the salary cap was increasing in the game. I gave him a 2-year, 3.8 mil deal per year deal because and for Corrado I also gave him a 2-year deal for 2.8 mil per year because in 2 years I believe my young prospects in the AHL will get a boost and they might be able to play top 6 within 2 years. Which is a perfect length. Perfect length for those for my bottom 6. Here I released some depth defensemen and I re-signed Yannick Weber to a 1-year deal, 2-way deal, as well as Bedon for 1 year. So they will be the veterans in that AHL squad. Teach all those young rookies, first year players and rookies how to play the game the right way. Oh yeah, right here I was just counting how many players I have from my AHL squad with the defenseman. I signed Jacob to a deal. And I feel like I have enough players for the AHL squad in defense. Really some prospects like Chris there. And I was checking out my drafted prospects. This guy I picked up in the third round. Not bad, 67 overall, 19.5, 3.5 star, yellow star potential. There's Mark Stratus, who's the first pick of the draft for us. Our first selection. 20 years old, 66, 3.5 star potential. Here, I went to the right wing, signed Boris Volchenkov to a 1-year deal, which a two-way contract. Let's release Hansen away, and Grenier. I want to sign, but he wanted a one-way deal, so I released him for now. But I could always re-sign him again in free agency, same as Yannick Hansen. Here, I signed some prospects. Oh, and the right wing sniper I picked up in the third round is 4.5 red star potential, which is nice. So sign Cal Babich. Left wings. I decided to re-sign Andrew Led to a 2-year deal at 4.8 mil. Perfect. So I have Lad, Vertanen, Shinkaruk. And yeah, here I'm just releasing some players that I don't need right now. And I signed some rookies that are going to be unrestricted free agents. They're most likely ready to play in the AHL squad. And so far, so good for that. This guy I picked up in the third round too. Not bad. All right. Oh, excuse me for a second. I'll be back to get to grab some water. That's good. Here, and then for centers, I decided to release Anisimov just so that I have a roster spot for Denis Yan. Thank you for your time, Artem Anisimov. May you do well in your future. Then I re-signed Zach Smith to a 1-year deal at around 2.8. Perfect for the fourth line, though. Then I re-signed Vey for depth. Yeah, he'll be our depth forward, the 13th forward. Here. Then I think I tend to qualify. Here I was just looking at my draft picks. Ooh, that Cal Backman is a 4.5 red star potential grinder. Ooh, yep, nowhere ready. Probably in 4 years he might be ready. Then I think I qualified Cole Castles. Tender qualifying offer him. That's it. So personally, heading to free agency, I believe we don't really need to sign anyone special because our team is set right now. I think what I want to get in free agency is mostly defense, depth defensemen, depth forwards, maybe a goalie. But I want to see if there's any goalie prospects that are unsigned that are willing to sign with my team. That would be great because I really want to strengthen my goalie depth, especially if Malcolm does not grow and doesn't reach my expectations. So here, most of my players and my rookies signed with my team, which is great. And I have a ton of cap space, like around 15 mil, which I'm gonna use for next season because if you see the centers, Matt Duchene has 1 year left in his contract, so he'll probably want like I guess a range between 7.5 to 9. So I'm saving that cap space for him, as well as we have to re-sign Edler. I don't know how much he wants, maybe the same amount. For, I guess, whenever it takes him to when he's like 35, I guess. I think he's 32 years old right now. So here, we made it to free agency. Let's check out who the top players are available. Signed free agents. Here we go. And look at that. I started off with forwards. Looks like David Backus is the best player available. something I would not pick him up just because I don't really need him. Plus, he wants like 8.5 for 1 year though, which is something I don't want to give up for him. Because yeah, basically I don't really need him. So far, there's a lot of depth and fourth line forwards available in free agency. And the best defenseman available in the market is Alexei Emelin, though. I was comparing his stats to Spiza, and I think Spiza is a bit better overall, more well-rounded than Alexei Emelin, just because he's a defensive defenseman. I think Spiza is two-way. So looking up the defenseman, there's a lot available. Oh, and before I end the episode, I decided to sign Georges as my depth defenseman because why not bring the BC boy back home? Sign him to a 1 year deal, one way deal for 1 year at 1.75 mil, which is a good length for him. Good contract for him. And yeah, I'm just looking around to see if anyone I could sign for the HL squad. Then I look at goalie wise, and there's these two goalies available. You got a 20-year-old, 79 overall goalie who's drafted 4th overall in Tyson Verhels. Sorry if I butchered that pronunciation, his last name. And I was thinking, why would Buffalo not sign this player? And then the other player was this 4.5 Red Star potential goalie. His name is Nick McBride, 75 overall. He was drafted in the 7th round. Damn. He's also 21 years old. So I decided to go back to the contract and see why do those two goalie prospects not sign with their original teams. So I went to Arizona first. Let's go to all goalies. And let's sort by overall. Oh, I can see why. They have a ton of goalies in their system. Well, goalie prospects. And they have two 4.5-star potential players in them. One is red and one is yellow. So I can see the reason why they want to trade him away. Now let's go to the Buffalo Sabres and see why they didn't sign him. Oh, why did I go to Boston? I mean Buffalo. There we go. All I can say is the GM for the Buffalo Sabres is an idiot. But anyway, let me know what you think we should do in free agency. Until then, this is Private A Licious signing off.